Lovely Monmouth for Bradley today. Morning, Brad.
Morning, yeah, I've come to Monmouth because, of course, over the last 24 hours it's been a really busy time for this place, like it has everywhere across the UK because of the local elections. In 2017, just 5 years ago, the Tories took majority control of Monmouthshire. Now I've come back to see if people are still thinking in the same way that they thought 5 years ago. Are people still voting for the Conservative Party like they did then? Kate Watts runs Quench Cafe here in Monmouth. Good to chat to you this morning. Come a bit closer for us. Come in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just want to chat to you because yesterday, really big day for Monmouth. 90 polling stations open. Did you go out and vote? What was the turnout like?
Yes, I did. I voted about 5:30 last night, and it was really quiet. I was the only one in there.
You were the only person in there?
Yeah. Which is unusual because normally that time of night it's normally really, really busy, but I was quite surprised. I didn't queue. Yeah, there was just me.
Wow, yeah, I'll just come in if you don't mind. I'll just come quickly. Because normally at that time people after work, they're coming in, they're voting. Can I ask you though, OK, it was a bit quiet, but actually the Tories got in 2017, they took majority control of Monmouthshire. What are you hoping for now? Because I should add, results aren't coming in until around midday today. They're not counting until 9 a.m. here in Monmouthshire. So what are you hoping for, Kate?
What, with the party that's coming in, or...?
What are you hoping in terms of the results?
Oh, well, I hope that they retain the seat. I think they've done a fairly good job in the last few years. They've done quite a lot to try and improve the town. With, you know, new green spaces, with the high street, with the parks for the children and things. So, yeah, hopefully they'll retain.
Well, good to chat to you, Kate. Interested to hear people's thoughts. I'll be hearing people's thoughts all morning here in Monmouthshire ahead of the count from 9 o'clock this morning. At the moment, though, here in Monmouthshire, the count doesn't start till 9 o'clock this morning, so we won't get results until about midday onwards today. So I've come onto people's doorsteps to find out how they have been voting, how they're feeling. Graham Thomas,
Good
morning. We caught up only a few days ago. We were chatting, because, of course, the Conservatives took majority control of Monmouthshire 5 years ago.
Correct.
So we're finding out if people are still voting in the same way as they did in 2017. Do you mind if we have a quick chat on your bench? Because it's a beautiful day here in Monmouth, and you've got a lovely bench here, Graham. And I just want to come and chat to you, because you've also very kindly left me a coffee this morning. Just want to ask you, you went out and voted yesterday. What was the turnout like? Was it busy?
Well, I went out at 11:30 a.m. yesterday morning, and there was one in vote and one out, and there was a real queue of people going back to Ashington Square, about 20 people waiting in order to go in and vote.
See, that's really interesting. I was chatting to a woman called Kate earlier who said it was really quiet at about 5 o'clock in the evening. People must be going out in the morning then. Right. Can I ask you, though, 5 years the Tories have taken majority control of Monmouthshire. Is it 5 years well spent, do you think?
I think that we've seen services going down, and we need new faces to bring it back up to where it was, which was quite an efficient county, but it seems to really lost its direction under the Tories.
And what do you think the challenges are for Monmouthshire? What do you want to see improve? Because we're not getting the results till about midday today. So what are the issues that matter to you?
Well, they're talking about closing the local ambulance station, and public transport in Monmouth town is awful. They need to up the bus services because, of course, we lost the train services years ago. I know they're not going to bring those back, but we need good links for cars, public transport links.
I was chatting again to Kate, the coffee shop owner, who says she wants consistency. That's why she voted for the Conservatives again. But what's interesting about you, Graham, is that you voted Tory in 2017 and you've changed your mind now.
I've now voted. There were 4 candidates in this election. There was the Tory, there was Labour, there was Green, and there was an independent candidate, who was David Cummings, who I voted for, because he ran our Chamber of Trade for a number of years, and he was really good, and you saw the influence he made on the town of Monmouth. So in the political sphere, I think he's going to be a good guy to be in place.
And are you surprised by the turnout that you saw yesterday? Because there was a lot of speculation that not many people were going to come out and vote. It was going to be quite quiet. But actually, you saw queues. It was really busy.
And also, to counter that good turnout, I found out there was a 20% postal vote. And of course, this is an effect of COVID. So already it was only 80% of the people. But when I was walking back from town yesterday afternoon, there were lots of people going to vote in, and the Drybridge House car park was absolutely full, which is, you never see it in the evening. So this is a good, as you say, people come home from work because the voting stations were open till 10 p.m. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m, so it's quite a long period.
Yeah, and we'll get more confirmation on postal votes as the results come in as well. But you've been a resident in Monmouth for many, many years. Is this an interesting time politically for the county of Monmouthshire?
Yes, I've been living in Monmouth now for just over 20 years, and I think it's really a melting pot. And it's traditionally between the Tories, excuse me.
It's early.
It's early. Traditionally, it's between the Tories and Labour, but now the good news is that we've got Green candidates and independent candidates, and I think this is what's needed to give a fresh look at how things are going, because Monmouth is a big county but a very low population. And there's obviously problems with that in the communications, and as I mentioned earlier, Brad, public transport is critical.
Well, Graham, really interesting to hear your thoughts.
Has been in Monmouth in Wales, which went Conservative in 2017, and now we're going to look at the latest.
Elections have been taking place here in Monmouthshire as 90 polling stations opened from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. yesterday. People coming in to cast their vote. This is the first time that 16 and 17-year-olds can vote in the local elections since the Senedd elections in May last year, where they could vote for the first time. Of course, the Tories took majority control of Monmouthshire 5 years ago in 2017. So I've come back to Monmouth to find out if people are still voting in the same way that they did 5 years ago.
I think there's lots of things that have been happening that, could change your mind, but for me personally, no. I think it's about consistency, making sure we've got the same leader at this time. I don't think we should be changing drastically.
Or if they got back in Monmouth, I think that would be a real retrograde step. It would be just more of the same, of the same, of the same. Not any positive aspects to them, really.
The Welsh Conservatives will be well aware that people have been basing their votes on much wider issues, such as the cost of living crisis, the war in Ukraine, and lockdown parties in Downing Street. Here in Monmouthshire, we're expecting results from about midday onwards today, so we'll see if those bigger political stories are having an impact on people's votes locally here in Monmouthshire.
Bradley Harris there. Right, OK.